Hi everybody, this is Love of Truth. I I just had some thoughts. I've spoke on these things before, but I just want to mention them again because I think they're important. As always, whatever I think is important, I want to share. And I might not be on all the time, but when I have these messages, I feel it's only right to share it with others. So, and I have these revelations all the time, so I don't want to confuse anybody. It's not like I'm just coming up with this just now, you know? So I've thought about these things before and just want to, I've said this before too, but I just want to mention these things because it's helped me. And so one of the main things is what I've learned is like being alone with yourself can be very, very healing. Like it's very good for you, but it's also like it's good to have this self-care. Um, and I think that's the whole point is that it's supposed to be healing, but it's like truly being alone with yourself. And what I mean is doing something calming or not really doing much at all, like meditating and just kind of sitting there and allowing your thoughts or your feelings to come, it really heals. So it's something that I feel it can help. I was going to say it's beneficial and it can help so many things, like so many areas of your life. And in general, with anxiety, just period, from anything. If you just sit there for a little bit and have enough time to just allow yourself to be who you are, if that makes sense. Or like you don't have to meditate necessarily. You can listen to music or do something calming, for example, like coloring. Um, but I would suggest not to like watch anything, but just to listen to something if you're going to do that. And then um, drawing is also calming, like I said. So drawing or coloring or anything artistic, like painting. It could be crafting, any sort of thing. It doesn't have to be something specific, but something creative. Something where you can express yourself, like what's inside of you, if that makes sense, in some sort of form. It could even be gardening. Like it doesn't have to be, like I said, specific, and you don't have to literally make things or put things together. But if that excites you or you enjoy that type of thing, then I would say, yeah, go and do that. It could be like going out in nature. Um, anything that's calming, anything that you really enjoy, that's fulfilling within yourself. And I just sit here sometimes and just light incense and um, do creative little projects, or I'll put my diffuser on. Like I'll do things that I know are going to comfort me, I guess, or give me some sort of like sensation to keep me alert, if that makes sense too. Like, okay, for example, the fan is on. It's not necessarily hot, but I like the air of the fan. Or it could be the reverse where it's like cold where you are and you have heat on and you turn the heat up a little bit more. Or it could be even if you're in a cold environment and you don't mind it, you know, or vice versa. If it's warm outside, but yet you don't mind feeling that warmth within your house, or even if you're not in the house, you know, if you're outside, it doesn't really matter. You know, it's like what comforts you, what makes you feel good, no matter what, like how weird it looks, or people might say something about it. It could be even down to like what you're eating, and you know, it could be anything that people just might not understand. Like, you know how you like something that's different than say someone else that might not like the same type of food that you like. Well, that's what I mean. It's like your preferences. What are your preferences? What do you like? What do you not like? You know, try to get more in tune with what you like, what you want, and what you feel you need or you feel you resonate with. Um, it could be even just choosing, simple as choosing a color to wear that day, or when you're going to buy something new and you're trying to figure out what pattern or color or size, or you know, you can fill in the blank with whatever it is. You know, what is your preference, or what do you need? What is it according to you, like according to your story, according to your ideas of what you want for life? You know, I know I'm speaking in really general terms, but like, because everything in life is an idea at first, and then it um you know, it's in physical reality. Like everything we see has been made, and everything that's been made has been thought about first. And what's interesting is, except for nature, obviously we didn't create nature, but everything we see that we've created from nature is here because it was in someone's mind. So if we can just, you know, steer that in the right direction and control that better, control ourselves better, then we can, you know, I think that that's the main goal here too of the planet, is to realize that what's in our brains is not being utilized the right way. It's just being, it's like you're putting everything on repeat with the system the way it is, you know? So when your brain is on, and I say repeat, like it's, everything's repetitive that we do every day. So when we keep doing the same things every single day, your brain doesn't like expand, or doesn't want to expand, doesn't, you don't want to expand your knowledge or the view that you have, your perspective. Like you want to just see the one way that you see because it's comfortable, and because you've been doing it constantly every single day. It's like a routine. So you just don't even think about it anymore. It's like you just keep going and going. And what I think needs to happen is some sort of break in between all of that. Like, no, let's break it up. Let's switch it up. Let's do something different and invigorate your brain, your mind, your knowledge. You know, expand your knowledge, expand what you know, what you've learned, because we're learning all the time, whether we want to or not. So I feel like it's best to speed it up. How about you guys? If you feel like things could be sped up, comment down below. And I'm just curious to hear what you guys have to say. I might not always respond, but I like the interaction. Um, you know, in speaking your mind in response to the videos. It's like it's nice to know what other people are thinking about these concepts, and it's just very interesting how I see things in a very expansive way, and I just want to know if other people are seeing the same thing. And I think that's one of the main keys, is that coming together. See, it's a threat to the way things are, right? The way things are set up, that would be a threat to the daily routines that we're used to, like work, school. I could just come up with a whole bunch of things, right? It's like, I mean, mainly it's work. And I'm just thinking about the younger kids, school is kind of like work. So it's like we're put in these, or it could be an institution, right? It's like we're put in these like boxes. I mean, literally, they look like boxes too, but we're put in these metaphorical boxes, and then it's like a lot of people just stay there. And I think that's what they mean about, thinking outside of the box. Get out of that box. Get out of that, repetitive loop of the same, or every single day. It's like, where are you going to get? You're not going to get anywhere if you're doing the same thing all the time. We have to change it up. We have to um, evolve. And I don't necessarily like that word just for personal reasons, but like rise up and improve, be better than our previous self. Like, don't compete with anyone but your old self. Even competing, I feel, is kind of silly, because it's like ego driven, but the reality of it all, underneath it all, is like a striving to want to do better for yourself and everybody else. But that's where a lot of people struggle these days. But it's like, it's understandable. It's getting monotonous. It's getting tiring and exhausting. And I think we need some sort of rejuvenation, some rest, of course, but some rejuvenation of like, let's restart things. Let's not stay stagnant in the same place. Let's move on. Let's create something new. And I think we always should be creating new things, new concepts, new ideas, new ways of doing things. Now, if something works, of course, keep that, for however long you want to. But I think we shouldn't be afraid to open up and see that there's other perspectives, there's other ways of doing things, and whatever that is. It could be society, it could be in your personal life, it could be in a group, it could be in a family, it could be with your friends, it could be anything personal. We just have to see there's so many other ways of doing things. There's so many other like things going on other than what's going on in our personal lives. And if we see the bigger picture, I think that could improve our personal lives too, to see where are we going as a whole. And yeah, maybe there are people, not even maybe, I know this, that I'm one of them. There are people that carry a lot of the weight. Like, oh, I see where the world's headed. I want to be the total opposite of how the masses are acting, how most people act. I don't want to be like that, because I know it's not. You know why? Because it's in the wrong direction. It's only because of that. I don't care what other people are doing. If everybody else was doing the right thing and trying to tell the truth and be honest, then that would make sense. And trying to improve themselves and other people's lives, I feel that's great. And I would want to be like the rest of the world. But the way the world is now, I don't want to be like it. Not one bit. And the thing is, the world needs to change. So the only way that's going to happen, and I'm sure you've heard it before, is within first. It's the only way. It's the ultimate truth. You need to change yourself first. That's how the world's going to change. Everybody wants a miracle to just come in. It's not going to come in, like, unless you do the work. And if you have been doing the work, I think in your personal life, that will start to show up for you in your own life. Like, you'll see that the more you apply doing better for yourself, paying attention to yourself, listening to yourself, wanting that time alone. It's not just taking the time, it's like fully enjoying it and fully being in it and wanting it and desiring that and saying, I don't care what anyone needs at the time that I need myself. Not to say, like, if there's an emergency, of course, like, do what you need to do. But I'm just saying, as far as your own what's the word? Sovereignty. Like, you should not sway for little things for others that, like, everyone's always needing your attention, so to say. When everybody needs your attention, it's really good to pull back because it can get overwhelming. You can have burnout, and there are so many other things. It damages your perspective, the perspective that you want to have. Like I'm saying, it's something you want. This is something that it's not like, oh, here, do the work and then just, like school. A lot of kids don't want to go to school. And when they're not engaged like that and they don't want to be engaged, they're not going to learn much. And unless they're forced, but that's not fun and that's not how it was designed by God. That's how I see it. It was not designed that way, period. Why would we even have good feelings? Not to say that anything that feels good is necessarily good for you, obviously. It doesn't mean that you're going to just learn based off what feels good. But a lot of it has to do with feeling good paired with what makes sense and what will get you somewhere, what will help you learn to apply these things to your life. So I'm hoping this is making sense. Yeah, I just thought about that, like how important it really is to get in tune with yourself. And then it helps you to be more confident in knowing what you're saying. Even if you didn't do any research, it's like the research is within. It's search. It's just researching, technically. What I'm trying to say is it's searching within yourself. And the answers are there. And that's the funny part is, yeah, okay, you're not going to get the technical answers to anything. You're not going to be like 100% psychic here. But the point is that the energy or the answers, I want to give another word, but that energy's all inside of you to begin with. And the technical details, yes, will be found out in the world, so to say, in reality. But it's still reality, obviously, when you're looking within. But it's your reality, and it's not, no one else can see that. No one else can see what's in your mind. No one else can know who you really, truly are, regardless of what is seen. Isn't that amazing? And that's why, even though I'm always misunderstood. I shouldn't say always, but a lot of the times I'm misunderstood. And when I am, or I should say over the years, how many times I have been misunderstood, I'm starting to learn that it doesn't even matter if you're misunderstood, because if it's constantly happening, it taught me that what's more important is what's inside, even if people can't see it. And here's another thing I learned yesterday. Well, again, these things aren't just like, oh, I just learned this. And no, it's not literally like I learned it yesterday, but I got reaccustomed to it again, and it came into my mind again from another source. But anyways, so I heard, what was it? Someone said, it totally left my brain. One second. Okay. I just had to pause it and think for a second. But okay, so it was, people don't want to hear the truth about themselves, especially, but truth period, because they have a mask on. And you're choosing not to have the mask anymore. So you don't have a mask on. They do. You're trying to show them the light or the truth. They just can't see it because their mask is on still. They wouldn't even be able to see it because they're still being fake with themselves. So how are they going to see the truth, period, outside of themselves or within themselves, unless they choose to take the mask off? And that's not exactly how someone said it, but that's my interpretation of it. And I think that's so cool. That is just the explanation of it. People will not they're not able to see because of their mask. It's their illusion. Like, they have their illusionary world. There's no way that when you speak truth, you're going to appear like you're speaking the truth to them. And they're going to think that you're the one that has some sort of illusionary world. I don't even know if illusionary is a word. I think it is. Let's see. Illusionary. Yeah. Okay. It is. Deceptive or misleading. Yeah. So really, they're thinking you're deceptive. They think that you're misled and that you're misleading others. But in all reality, if you're speaking truth, it's so simple. It's like, if it's the truth, it's never deceptive or misleading. It's the opposite. It's direct and upfront and truthful. So, so other people are not going to see a lot of these things. So another solution I've realized over time is that to try to, quote, wake people up to the truth, no matter what it is, if it's about the situations of gang stalking, like I talk about, or people that are trying to pull you down, or just ruin you, like speak bad on your name, they try to frame you, whatever it is. Well, I paused the video for a second, and for the life of me, I cannot remember what I was gonna say, but I think it's, the thing is that other people that are doing these injustices to those that are seeing the truth ultimately are not, okay, they're always going to dig their own hole, so to say. And every time that you choose to do right, even if all of these things are being done to you, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what they're doing to you. I mean, it does, but you know what I'm saying. Like, I always say that it doesn't matter, but I hope people don't misunderstand me. What matters is what you do. What matters is the truth. That's why. They do not want the truth because then it will break their illusions down. They want to have their illusions. And I see people that want the truth. They are able to go with or adapt with the changes that keep happening. You have to, in a way, and because everything in life changes. And I wanted to say something about how, like, we can't wake people up. I think I mentioned that, but I paused it for so long that I just didn't, remember everything I was saying just a second ago. Let's see. Yeah, there's no way to really wake anybody else up. We have to kind of just be patient because they're gonna continue to think that we're not speaking the truth, when in reality we are. Not everybody, but the ones that do, that's what I'm talking about, or that's who I'm talking about, those that do, and those that seek it and want to know it. Yeah, the ones that want to shine light on it are a threat. And I know I just said this, but so they look at you as a threat. So people that aren't honest with themselves or do not tell the truth, and they might be people you might not even realize that they are. This is why people will come against you, so to say, or attack you. That's what I was trying to say. So people that do all of these things to us, it's only because you are speaking up, you're speaking your mind, and you're speaking up for those that can't as well. And even if you don't think you are in some sort of way, even if you're not literally speaking. You could just be who you are and be targeted, you know? But the point is to keep shining. The point is to keep going. Because the other point is that we know what's up. We know it. We see it. It's not even just a knowing, it's a seeing. It's a 100% pure fact. We're going all the way with it, you know? It's not like we're giving up because others think things aren't real or true. I'm not giving up because of that, but I'm not here to try to convince anybody either, because I know I can't. Only you can convince yourself. And it's not really convincing. It's just a matter of pulling the layers off. And that's why there's so much confusion, because people think it's a convincing or a let's go through the motions type of thing. And it's not. It's literally just something that's there that you're not looking at. It's something you just have to see. And once you see it, that's why it's a whole different game for you then. And I shouldn't say game, but I'm just explaining in these terms. It's a whole different situation. Like life becomes something different, and then you're like, oh wow, wait a second, this is the truth. This is completely different than what I thought it was. Usually the truth is like that. And it's scary. Sometimes it's scary. But then in the end, you realize why everything was the way it was. So that's why it's good to not be afraid of it. Because eventually, you'll see why everything had to happen the way it did. And I think that we see that in little situations in our lives. I say it's those that, again, strive for the truth, want to tell the truth, want to know the truth, and do. You know? So I could go on and on about this, but I think I'm going to try to leave it there. I just want to thank everybody for being subscribed or liking the videos, just to be able to get it up more in the algorithms to spread the message. Because really all this is about is the message. I don't really care personally about, you know, my personal view. I just think that there needs to be a coming together, or a revelations that need to be had, if that makes sense, seen. And the only people that can do it are the people that I basically am talking to, you know, you guys, the audience. So those that want to know the truth and hear the truth and resonate with this message, then, or these messages, I should say, then those are the people I'm talking to. Those are the only people. You're the only people that can lift the energy, the vibrations of the earth. The more we do what's right, the more we know. It's not even the more we know, because we already know what we know. Like I said, it's all within you. But the more that it's really the more we grow, the more we're uncovering, because it's already there. It's just an uncovering of the truth and what's there. Some things we might not see still. Some things are still in the darkness because there are energies, as we know, opposing energies that want to keep it hidden still, so that they can still have this game or this charade, or this is their life. They want their life to be preserved. They want that to be held up in position so that they can be more comfortable. But the righteousness in people, those types of people, I'm not saying that we're perfect, but those that want to do right, it's like our time, you know. We need to step up, stand up and say, no, this illusion can't keep going on and on and on. We are the only ones that can do it. So it's interesting too how we're not here to wake everybody up. We're here to help them wake up within themselves, wake themselves up. We're here to help wake people, or we're here to help people wake themselves up by waking yourself up and speaking your truth. And really, that's all this is. I think I'm going to end it there. So thank you guys for listening always, and I'll try to be back with another video soon. And yeah, I just appreciate you all very much. So, all right, guys. I hope you all are doing well, and I'll talk to you soon.